Well, boys and girls, let's take a look at a song we sang last rotation. And this song here is I Have a Car. And many of us looked at this music, the lead, and I say it's a lead sheet because it just has the melody and the words. Also, lead sheets would have the chords of the song above the measures. Okay, let's go back to just the rhythm right now. So here's the rhythm. Ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Why did I breathe here and here? Well, as many of you know, that's the quarter rest, and that's one beat of silence. Well, how many beats are there? Well, in each measure, there's 4 beats. 1, 2, 2/8 notes equal are half, or rather 2 half notes are half, and 2 halves equal a whole. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And right here, this line here, as many of you know, is the bar line. Bar lines separate the notes into measures. Okay, so here's bar line, bar line, bar line, measure, measure, measure. And the measure numbers are right here. There's 1 measure, 2, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and on through the song. All the measure numbers are there. Okay? And also what tells you there's 4 beats in each measure is this 4 here in the time signature. The 4 above the 4. The top number tells you in the time signature how many beats there are. Measure. Remember, the measures are divided by the bar lines. And some of you are thinking, well, what's the bottom 4 tell us? The bottom 4 tells us that each quarter note gets the beat. And 2/8 notes equal a quarter note because the quarter note is a whole. And 2 half notes equal a whole, which is a quarter note. So the quarter note gets the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And another name for time signature is meter signature. Okay, let's go on with the rhythm. Let's move this guy out of the way. Where can we move down here? Okay, let's pick up here in the 5th measure. I think it's just the same thing repeated. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. T, T, ta, 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 ta. T, T, ta, 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 ta. And you notice in the second part, as we identified as being the refrain, notice we have a double bar line here. That tells us we're going to go into a different part. In the refrain, there's no quarter rest. So I was grabbing a quick breath right before the honk. Right in here, I was grabbing a breath. You can do that. Got to take quick little breaths. Right here, as many of you know, is the treble clef. And without a clef, a reference point, it doesn't make sense to have notes on the staff or letter name notes. The other name is, or probably the real name, would be the G clef because it circles the second line of the music staff. I know many of you know this already. So if the second line of the music staff is G, then this note here, where we have so-so, has to be A, because the music staff only goes up to G, or rather the music alphabet only goes up to G. So this would be F, or in this case, F sharp, because there's an F sharp in the signature. We'll come back to that. We'll call the F sharp F. Fi, sol, sol, la. F sharp, A, B, F sharp, A. Okay. Another thing I want to mention again is the signature. The key signature tells you what key you're in. If these two here are sharps, flats look like a B. If there's no sharp or flats in the key signature, it's either in the key of C or the key of the relative minor, A minor. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. La would start the natural minor, which the tonic chord would be A minor. But let's get away from that right now. And let's again talk that, that the F sharp here would make this F an F sharp, no matter where it's at, unless there's a natural sign in front of that. Okay, so if I don't make this F an F sharp, it'll sound like this. Made of tin, nobody knows what shape it's in. Has 4 wheels and a rum. Interesting chord there, right? Minor 6. But so that's why the signature is important. The other sharp is a C sharp. Okay. We have yet this year to review all the notes on the music staff, but the F sharp here is on the 5th line. Every good boy does fine, so it's F. And the note here, the C sharp, right there, is on the 3rd space. I'd like you to sing I Have a Car here, but only sing it in the solfege syllables. Notice I have the syllables here. Let me blow this up a little bit. There we go. And we'll put this guy over here. That guy is me. Okay, so here we go. Start with mi, so, la. And actually, let's go over the rhythm first, just one time. Here we go. Ready? And ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ta. And then measures 5, 6, 7, and 8 are just a repeat, except for the last measure. There's no quarter rest here. So then we go ta, 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 ta. So try to get a breath right here, right before honk. Okay, here we go. Ta, 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 ti, 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 ta, 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 ti, 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 ta, ta, ta. And then the rest is just a repetition, okay? Here we go. Now you're gonna sing. I'm just gonna play. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna start on mi, sol, la, mi. Breathe. Ready, and. Now it's your time to sing the words of I Have a Car. And I will just play the piano. I'll be your accompanist. So let's see if I can lower that. You can see more of the keyboard. There we go. Well, it's the best I can do, I think. Anyways, here we go. Listen for the walk down.